This is Dr. Hobble, and I'm going to help you with this card sort. So what I would say is go ahead and get your notebook out, and you might be able to take some notes that'll help you work on this on the next slide. Or you can go back and forth depending on what you feel most comfortable with. So what I'm going to do is there are 3 situations and 6 equations below. Match each situation with an equation. Some equations will not have situations to go with them. So first I'm just going to kind of sort these into situations and equations. So maybe you can try the same thing. So I'll put my situations on the left, and I'll put my equations on the right. But you can do whatever works best for you. Okay, so let's look at this first equation. Actually, before we look at the first situation, I'm going to organize my equations and see if you notice a pattern for how I'm organizing my equations. How did I group them? What do you notice about my equations? So look at these 3 equations. I kind of put these into their own little group. And then look at these 3 equations. What do you notice? You might have noticed that I put all the equations that involve multiplication together and all the equations that involve addition together. So I kind of did that on purpose. Okay, so let's look at this first situation. After Elena ran 5 miles on Friday, she had run a total of 20 miles for the week. She ran X miles before Friday. So Elena ran 5 miles on Friday, which means she had those X miles she ran before that, and then she ran 5 more. So if you run X miles and you run 5 more miles after that, how many miles is that? So we're probably thinking in terms of addition here, and we've got X miles and we run 5 more. So is that X plus 20 equals 5? X plus 5 equals 20? X equals 20 plus 5. Well, she ran these X miles plus 5 more and total had 20. So this is X plus 5 equals 20. So I'm going to put those together. Next, let's look at this situation with Andre. So I'll put these over here. Andre's school has 20 clubs, which is 5 times as many as his cousin's school. His cousin's school has X clubs. So 20 clubs is the total, and that's 5 times the number of his cousin's school's clubs, which is X. So 5 times X is the number of clubs, and that's the same as 20 clubs that they have. Do you see an equation here that matches that? What about this one? First of all, the total is 20, so that's a good sign. And then 5 times the X clubs that his cousin's school has. So that's the equation that goes with this one. Okay, so the next situation says, Jada volunteers at the animal shelter. She divided 5 cups of cat food equally to feed 20 cats. Each cat received X cups of food. So here we have 5 cups, and we're putting it into 20 groups, right? And each cat gets one of those groups. So we have 20 cats to feed. They all get some amount, and then there are 5 cups total. So which one of these reflects 20 groups of something ends up being 5? These 20 groups of the cat food ends up being 5 cups of cat food. Is that 5 times 20 equals X, or is that 20 times X equals 5, or 20X equals 5? It's this one. 20X equals 5. Because there are 20 cups, or 20 groups really, of this cat food. Well, 20 cats, and each one gets X. These are all the groups together of the cat food. That ends up being 5 cups total. So this is going to be the one that goes with that card. Alright, so thanks for working on this card sort with me, and let me know if you have any questions.